Hello everybody, welcome to the sound test room. Today we're going to take a look at setting Modstep up for the first time, getting started sort of thing. So if you're not familiar with the app, or you're just interested in what it can do and things like that, yeah, this should help a little bit. Okay, so first of all, when you open Modstep for the first time, it looks very daunting. There's a lot going on the screen. They've got a big project loaded. Don't worry, go to your projects here and select a new, name your new project, hit enter, and then you will be presented with this completely clean screen. Across the top here are different views. You have piano roll, you have step sequencer, you have MIDI templates. You don't need to worry about all this stuff. And this one here is the instrument that's been used, but I have no instrument loaded at the moment because this is completely blank. You have mute and solo for each track. Okay, and then here you have your different inputs and outputs, your mixer, your chain. This is where you'll see your instruments and effects, and then you have a record button there. But don't worry about that record button just yet. Okay, so to add an instrument, you hit browser here, and then you can go to either internal instruments, inter-app audio instruments, or audio unit instruments. Let's just stick with the internal instruments, and let's add a synth there, and that's how we do it. We just hold it, drag it, and drop it in. Then let's close our browser. Okay, so we know that, let's open our chain, we have a synth there, but you have no effects on it or anything like that. But that's okay. I have a MIDI keyboard attached. So first of all, I'm going to go to Oxygen 61, and that is my MIDI keyboard. And if I press a key, you will see that the thing is actually lighting up because it's receiving information, but you can't hear it. Now, the only reason you can't hear it, okay, is because you have to have this armed. Now you will. And it's loaded a very, very basic patch. So let's have a look a little bit further, shall we? Now, it has an internal keyboard, so let's just close in and out, so we don't need that open. But we have that, let's leave that armed. And let's hit keyboard. It's on scales at the moment. If I change the scales, it has blade scaling as well, so that's very cool. So you can choose a scale you'd like to use from the ones that are here, or you can choose none, which I'm going to use because I'm going to enter notes with my MIDI keyboard. But you can, like I said, you can enter notes with the on-screen keyboard, like that. But you see now we've just selected chromatic. We're good to go. The good thing is that even if you are using a MIDI keyboard, for instance, if I select minor gypsy and I play my MIDI keyboard, it won't let me play a wrong note. So whatever I play, it's always going to be in the minor gypsy scale. So you're good. You're not going to play any wrong notes. But let's leave it on none and let's close the keyboard. Okay, so let's change the color of the thing as well, so it's a little bit brighter. And if we long hold, now these are tracks. Inside the tracks, these little boxes, they're called clips, and across this timeline here is the scenes. Now you can add tracks and add scenes. You can do this as many times as your device will allow you to do it, you know, depending on the power. And I'll show you that in a sec. But before we get ahead of ourselves, if we long hold here, we get this page, clip settings. Now here we can change the name to anything we like. We can change the color of the actual clip and leave the track color the same. And you can see that inside a scene, you can either have it play for one, the length, this is the length, this is important. It'll go up to 16 bars. At the moment, by default, it's set on 1. Or let's set it on 4 bars. Now, don't worry too much about the loops yet. That's how many times it will loop. It'll loop your 4 bars. At the moment, it'll infinitely loop them forever. So that's fine. Okay. So we want to record some of that information in there. So here we have an incredibly loud metronome, which is switched on. And I haven't kind of worked out, even if I hold the metronome, I can't work out how to make it quieter. This is your tempo up here, obviously. This is where you set your tempo. Next to that is global record. It's different. That's audio recording. Say, for instance, I wanted to record this and the output, the main output. Okay. and have that recorded, that's now recording whatever's playing. Stop that. Sorry, stop it there. And that actually recorded. It recorded nothing because there was no data there, but that actually recorded the wave file of whatever's playing, not the MIDI in. To record MIDI in, we need to have this armed. Let's have our metronome armed for now because, you know, and we need to just have that hit there like this. Now this hit resets the clock. So if you notice that as soon as I press play now, I can start recording and you will see it will track along. Now this is also important. You have to have the clip running for it to record. Okay. And you see it's tracking along there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's done. Let's turn the metronome off because it's mind-bogglingly annoying. So now we've recorded some MIDI information in. We can make further adjustments now. So let me just turn it down a little bit. If I hit quantize, I can apply the quantization to what I've just recorded. And it's actually done it. I was pretty close anyway, actually. If we go along to the next section here, this is our MIDI editor. You know, our piano roll where we can add notes. Oh, this is the quick way to do it is if we hit this, we can add. When it comes back around again to session 1. There you go, and we can just quickly delete them. We can fold, which just gives us a real close look at where we are. Or we can expand it, hold this, scroll down to our focus here, which is very, very cool. And we can also expand our focus as well. Just things to know about that. Where it says chase, you can see at the moment I've recorded 4 bars and it's going across like this. Well, if I hit chase, it will just follow. It'll move now. And we can see that's all chase does. And it'll go back again. So if we want to focus just on 1 bar, you can switch chase off and it'll stay on 3, but it'll carry on tracking, but we can make adjustments just in bar 3. Okay, so also you can stop the clip and you can play the clip from within. It'll wait till the master clock comes round, see? Or you can play the clip from within. Okay, let's do mute and solo, we know. So if you had more clips and stuff playing, then you could mute or solo, etc, etc. You could see your velocities here. You can't really see down the bottom here because it's dark, and then there's modes and scales. You can set your scale again. Let's go to controls. Speed is very cool indeed. So let us switch speed on and let us select ×2. Now you can see there it says 1 times, 1 times, 1 times, and 1 times inside those little bars there. Pressing play now won't do anything. It'll just play it because it's still on 1 times. You select speed, select the speed you would like ×2, and then you select any of these bars that you want it to be ×2. So let's select those last 2 as ×2. Okay, so let's select ×1 again. Excuse me. Okay, so you get how that works. It's very, very cool indeed, right? You can do some neat stuff with that, especially with drums and things as well. Okay, so moving on here, this is your step sequencer view. Okay, so now you can see more clearly that you have 4 bars activated. You can do your speed and things from in here also. It's very cool. You can arm, well, you can't arm more tracks, but you can select different tracks by long holding them and see where you are in the step sequence, and you can make fine control adjustments. Also, you can see the keys, then you can see the pads that are used, or you can load chords in, and then you can select scales also. Here as well as the pitch, but you can also sort out the length of the notes, the velocities. It's very difficult to see, or any modulations that you have set. Okay, so that's basically your step sequencer view. Here are your XY pads, which become apparent in the next page. So this is your MIDI template setup. So if you've got like an Arturia Micro Brute or a Boom 808, or I mean, these are soft synths as well. This is where you can set up the templates for that particular instrument you've got. So if you've got Echo Pad, say, loaded in, you can pick this up because Modstep have very kindly already pre-mapped a lot of this stuff for you. But if you have Echo Pad, the effect, you could drop this down there and it will change the the things that you can apply MIDI to for Echo Pad. It's already been set up for you, so you don't need to start doing MIDI layering and stuff like that. Excuse me, you don't need to do MIDI layering and stuff like that. And then these slots here, these are where you can choose your things to load in, you see, and there's tons and tons of them. So you could say, oh well, I'll have the clear looper in that one there, and I can put main toggle in that one there, and etc, and I can do this there, and I can do, it won't do anything to the sound we've got now because I'm not using Echo Pad, but I'm just saying that so you can, and you can go on and on and on. Or you can have it autofill for you, and it loads up different things to different things, parts of the XY pad. You can MIDI lane, of course. You do have full MIDI lane, MIDI mapping here, and this will allow you to, you know, use your MIDI controller and set different things to control different things like the faders and stuff. But this is for your XY pads, okay, and stuff like that. But it's a full MIDI map, so it's very, very cool. So if we were to go back to, say, now our thingy page here, you would see that we can control our different wattits to whatever we have selected. See? It's all very cool. It's all very cool beans. We can have multiple things selected or switched off or on or whatever, and just long hold them. And it's very cool. It's very cool. Anyway, that's that. So we've looked at our MIDI templates thing. This is our actual instrument. This is the synth. So to change the sound, we can open our browser here, and these are all the sounds that are included in the little synth. So we've got like we could choose, say, Spook Pad. We just drag it and drop it. See, again. So if I play my MIDI keyboard now, see, and I think that the actual, we can do it like this. We can choose the way to control things like this. But if I play my little loop now, to stop record actually, and just it's going to play that sound that I selected, and then I could go to the synth and make adjustments. So you have a filter, you have a delay and a reverb. And the very cool thing is now, is because I'm still armed, don't forget you have to have armed. If I go to this now and I hit this record, I can record in my, and we can see where we are at the top here. So I can record. Let's stop record. You can record your automation in as well. How cool is that, eh? So we've covered that. Now let's just quickly run through a quick one with the drums. So first of all, we need to add another track. Add another track. We don't need to add another scene because there is one already loaded, but if we want to, we can add scenes, as many scenes as we like. Okay. Also, while I'm here as well, I'll show you how to delete a scene. So you can select this, select the bin, tap it again, scene is gone. Okay. Same with copying. If I wanted to copy, right, I'll show you. If I wanted to copy this scene, I just press copy, a long hold, and then drag that over like that, and it's done. Then that would be copied to that. Okay, I'm going to delete that because I don't want it there. Go to the browser, now go to sampler and drop the sampler in there. And this works for all your inter-app audio and stuff like that. It's the same. So we've got a drum in there. Let's switch arm off of that because we don't need to worry about recording that data again. And let's go to our drum machine directly. And these are our different... It's a sampler. You can import samples via audio share. That would be very good. I think you can only do it via iTunes. I'd really love to see this be able to import my drum samples or stuff like that from. I have some brilliant drum samples and stuff from Electronic Sounds, and to just be able to just put them in there would be incredible. But I don't think there's a way to do that now other than via iTunes, which is just naff. Nobody likes iTunes doing for that stuff. Okay, so to choose a new drum kit, say we wanted the CR78, we just drag it and drop it, and it's okay. And again, let's just record. Now let's make sure that we make sure we are armed to record, and also tapping this will not record your stuff in. Don't forget I'm MIDI'd, and actually that's quite. Because I didn't need to, let's go to chain here. Sorry, not my in and outs. I didn't actually need because I'm on all inputs. But I could just have this for the oxygen if I wanted to. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go back to our instrument again. If I want to record in from here, press in record. Right, let's do this. Let's play the little thing and make sure our clip is running, and also let us make sure we have more than one bar to play with. Let's press record. That does not. That does not record your information in, okay? It's going to be a little bit confusing. You think, oh, maybe it should, you know. No, press keyboard here. Now you have two views. You see, it looks like because we're on the sampler, it looks like a drum page. And then, but you can also have it set to do keyboard mode, but it's more sensible having it set like this. And of course, you can like map it to your MIDI or pads. So let's do it this way. Let's and we know we're on 4 bars. Let's play this. So now because we're highlighted there, we know we're armed to record elsewhere. Let's just launch our clip. Always important to launch the clip, or you're going to be thinking, why didn't it record? Actually, let me just check. There you go. I was totally and completely wrong. You do not need to use the drum pad. You can if you want. You can actually record in direct from it. It's just that I didn't have the clip launched when I was doing it. And we can drop another kit in. And then we can overdub. We're still recording. Go back, stop, and that's it, guys. I'm not going to go any further now because otherwise it gets confusing, but that's a good starting point. Then if you want to start adding effects underneath, you can. If you wanted to add like any of your AU effects, there are no internal effects, but you can add inter-app audio effects. I couldn't find any internal effects anyway, and that's how you do it. And then you can add more and more of these, the internal instruments, until you've got the whole thing built up. So kind of thing, if we load the, where is it? That must be the main thing. There is that main thing. So this is the kind of crazy stuff you can start to do, you know. I will just quickly cover while I'm here that this is while we've got full scenes here, this will launch the whole scene. and that will stop it. Okay. Or you can launch individual tracks, but you can't look. I can't have two low basses running. It will just next clock round. It will just swap. But we can do this. Okay, so it works a lot like Ableton in that respect. Again, you can make adjustments to their main thing. You can delete stuff. You can etc. And you'll notice that they have made the entire track just using their internal instruments. Okay, guys, thank you for watching. This has been a quick getting going with Modstep. I'm going to do one which more focuses on the synth, then on the drum machine, adding effects and stuff, you know, and things like that. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys later. Oh yeah, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, consider becoming a Patreon. Okay, guys, see you later.